can I talk about data? I will guarantee, because I'm certainly as guilty of this, I do not have enough data in my business right now. This is a really interesting thing. I was recently talking to a national company. Okay, they are a national chain, and we were in discussions. This was on the marketing side of one of the businesses I have, and they did not have a Facebook retargeting pixel on their website. It blew my mind. They assumed they did, but the company they were using hadn't done it. Here's the thing. In today's day and age, you have got to know as much data as you can. Now, the problem with that is, and for any really budding entrepreneurs out there, fix this problem. This is a huge thing for businesses. Right now, to collate all that data together and get it in a usable format, and I know there are plenty of options out there to do that. You've got Google Analytics, you've got Facebook, but everything's fractured, and you can bring it in. There's we use software called Octoboard and so forth, but it still doesn't give us enough usable data. What it basically brings in is a whole bunch of numbers, and it gets very difficult to look at the bigger picture. Whatever business you've got, it doesn't matter if you're a bricks and mortar business or a full online business, you need to know exactly where everything is coming from. You need to understand how to track brand ROI. That's a very important thing nowadays to do, especially when you're trying to grow. That is going to be one of the main avenues for you to be able to grow. You've got to be able to track where lead sources are. You need to understand the content you're putting out there, not just, oh, okay, we get 20% of our sales from, our Facebook ads. Right? That's not good enough. You need to understand what Facebook ads are working, and more importantly, why. Like, why does that ad work over this ad? Why does that working and that wording and that imagery work over that? Because we all fall into this thing of split testing, and we hear about, oh, you got to do A/B splits and this, that, and the other. There's been very few businesses that I've seen that actually know how to take that data and properly use it, because what they normally do is guess one, guess two, and they run it as a split test, and this one fails, and they're left with the one, and they now push all their marketing into that without an understanding of really why that one is working. So when it comes to your business, you have to have those retargeting pixels, you have to have those codes on your website, on anything you can do. And I'm starting to, and you can probably imagine, like the consultancy business, which is a family business, our marketing, and so a lot happens with referrals. I should make a video on referrals because I hate referrals, but for that particular business, but whatever. Our data is a lot lower than what we have on our marketing company. The interesting part is that I'm starting to realize that having that data come in is all well and good, but and because I run as operations in both companies, I don't have the time to fully digest and produce usable information from all of that data. So I'm actually starting to consider now the idea that maybe I actually need somebody that isn't really on the marketing company's team or the consulting team, but somebody that kind of sits in the middle and really takes the data from everywhere and collates it into a way that we can have a meaningful discussion about what it means. It's like, I'm noticing, so as an example, what I'm noticing is traction that I'm getting on Instagram because of the type of, it's more of a lifestyle type channel, is different than the traction that I would get, say, on LinkedIn and so forth. And so understanding what's going on and how to position everything is important, but I'll guarantee that you don't have enough data coming in your business. And even if you have, like I said, crumbs, we are on the marketing side. I have very rarely come across a client who actually has their Google Analytics set up correctly. Most of the time they have it in there. There's no goals set up, there's no conversion goals, there's no paths, there's nothing set up there at all. Again, Facebook retargeting audiences. Again, very rarely if I come across people that are retargeting based on where people are going on your website. That's very important as well. So even if you do have all the data flowing in, the chances are, and I have been guilty of this as well, and I'm still working on it. You are not collating the data in a usable aspect. So I would love to know anybody that has this already fixed and they understand fully. I've heard some people solely using their marketing company or the marketing agency to produce that data. I think that can be limiting sometimes, because I know certainly in our aspect, sometimes, you know, we work with, especially on a national campaign level, we'll be working solely perhaps in their Google AdWords, and we're not dealing on Facebook or vice versa, and it gets very difficult to have that conversation you know, with technically your competitor, and it's cagey. And so even though the data's there, you know, that's something. So anyway, let me know in the comments, and I look forward to reading them.